Ah.
Alright, what's up, y'all? So I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and so did Charlotte over here.
Poopy butt.
And I was going into this movie with a lot of concern that it wasn't going to be good. All the reveals and information from the marketing and pre-release teasers and all that were signaling a lot of red flags in my mind. It seemed like it was very unfocused, overflowing, and jam-packed with all these, like, characters. It seems like it was also going to be a pretty sour tribute to Mario Galaxy, since they're fitting a lot of other stuff that weren't in Mario Galaxy. A lot of Odyssey and even Mario 2 stuff, where I felt like it was going to be taking up a lot of space where we could see more Galaxy stuff. But, you know what? Even though all of that ended up being true, I surprisingly kind of liked it anyways. It's messy as hell, don't get me wrong, but I underestimated how much they would get me into total fanboy status. So, I had fun. I liked the movie. Charlotte, on the other hand,
It didn't work on me.
didn't work
The
on her.
brainwashing, the manipulation, it didn't work on me. It didn't work
Oh,
on me. You
dear.
can't fangirl me, okay? Listen, I have very one tolerance. If you include that purple shadow, then yes, you can fangirl me, but it doesn't work when you just jingle in, oh my god, Birdo.
I guess I have weaker will, weaker resilience when it comes to that, but like I think it's not only just like, oh my god, look at that, like pointing at the screen and stuff. I just thought it was hard to really like summarize. It was just like a lot of fun and excitement to it, but I guess that's what this video is for. We're gonna like really get into
We're gonna
all that stuff.
discuss the Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah, and that's
Yay!
we were planning on doing this like a few days before I was gonna go watch it, and I was like wondering if it would be like an interesting discussion, but now realizing that we kind of have a good cop Sam, bad cop Charlotte dynamic going on here, I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting discussion.
Or we'll end up actually agreeing fully with each other. And then
that
it's
could
just gonna
happen
be,
too.
but I liked it, but I didn't like it situation.
Yeah, I think we'll have like the same. I think we'll agree with each other, just like different conclusions. So, yeah, like I said, the marketing and pre-release stuff made me picture a far worse movie than it actually ended up being. All the characters, locations, and scenes that they showed off in the trailers, these all felt like they were from different movies, you know? It didn't feel like them discovering Yoshi and then them going to like the secret wart casino and then going to the Cosmos, that they would all be in the same movie and it would just like work, you know? And I think for the most part, I think it felt seamless. I mean, I guess it's pretty easy for them because like since they're hopping from planet to planet throughout the cosmos, they can just kind of get wherever they want through like launch stars or like ships or wormholes or whatever.
And even then, it's Marcus, it's Mario. They do whatever the fuck they want on there. The sky's the limit, and even then, they don't hit the limit.
I remember there was a whole promotion where they're being like, spot all of these characters in the movies. Spot, like, look how many characters there are. And I was like, how are they gonna, like, fit all of these guys without being, like, an unfocused mess? But it turns out most of the minor characters that they gave a spotlight for some reason, that they didn't need all that much screen time, ended up not actually getting that much screen time. I think they ended up being properly used as either background characters or just, like, brief spotlight.
The what guys, little fucking
Yeah,
worker.
the Whittles.
I forgot their name,
The
guys. And you
Yumos.
get to see I forgot what the name of the character was, but the bird from a Galaxy 2 flyby. Yeah, you get to see them in there.
Oh, I think I mixed
We'll
that.
get to that.
Yeah, I think I missed
It's there for like a single second, so you won't see it unless someone tells you it's that.
I think there was one announcement that I think was the nail in the coffin for both you and me.
Yep.
The reveal of Fox McCloud in the Super Mario Galaxy movie had me fearing for the worst, that this was only the beginning of like this big Nintendo cinematic universe they're gonna set up, where it's like, oh, and then they're gonna meet Samus, Pikmin, and Zelda and all that. It's like, it's just gonna be a clusterfuck of like Avengers Endgame shit at the end. I'm like, oh no. But like, it really wasn't. That was
Sam,
just like,
you,
that was just
you do
worst
know
case
that
scenario.
Samus is in the movie?
Oh, there is?
Yeah. I'll tell you when it shows up, and I think there's also a Captain Falcon one, but there's also Little Mac too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I think the crossover characters, apart from a certain someone, were there as long as they needed to be. I
Even
think,
then, they were just cute cameos or references.
Yeah, Pikmin was
like,
a cute cameo.
nothing to really get upset about, really.
I think the way they went about like bringing Rob and Mr. Game & Watch into this, I think they were implemented pretty well, because I don't think they're implied to be part of like a connected like cinematic universe. Like Rob is just like a robot made in this world. Isn't like, hey, I'm Mr. Game & Watch. I'm from the Game & Watch universe. No, it's just something that Luigi like scrubbed together on the floor. And I was like, you know,
The
that's
quick
cute.
little like
I like
doodles that your parents put on the fridge.
Yeah,
like
they
the
just made him.
drawing.
They just made him Doodle Bob. I think that's cute. I like that. Yeah, they like implemented them for them to be part of like just the Mario world and not like implying to be part of a different universe. None of them imply like a Nintendo cinematic
It was
universe.
just more cute little funny references that you just notice when you're looking in the background, where it's like, oh, you see this brand? Oh, it's just this. It's just a funny little reference to the character.
Yeah, because
Where here, like, it still does that, but it's a little bit, sometimes it's a little more in your face.
and last but not least, I'll get to my last point. Let's talk about Fox McCloud.
Oh, you want to get him out of the way now? I was gonna save
Yeah.
him for
Let's
when we talk
get
fully
Fox.
about the movie.
Yeah, I just like it's just segues into my general points about like the scope of this, and then we can get into like scene by scene stuff. So Fox McCloud, I was like, what the fuck are they doing initially? And then he appeared a lot earlier than I thought he was. I thought he was gonna be like near the end, but no, he's like at the halfway
when I was
point.
watching it, I thought he was gonna appear near the beginning when that one scene with the Luma like crashing into the Mushroom Kingdom. I thought that's when he was gonna appear, but I was like, oh, thank God.
So yeah, I was expecting him to be like very distracting, and he kind of is. But you know what, Charlotte?
Yeah.
You know what?
What?
I think Fox won me over. I kind of love Fox in this.
And you know what? I would say this right here. I think he was really fun to watch, and this proves that honestly, he should get his own movie. I'd be down to watch a full-on Star Fox movie.
Yeah, I was talking about this with my friends after we left the theater. One of them like fucking loved Fox in that. Like he said he was like ore farming and styling the entire time, and it was like, yeah, I agree. He was fucking he was awesome to watch.
He was cool. He was
Also like
fun to
perfect
watch.
casting
The
choice
voice actor
for-
did good.
Yeah.
I think my only real issue is kind of blends into kind of the entire movie, which I want to get to later. But also I still don't like that he's just here because he takes
Yeah.
spotlight over a
Don't get me
certain
wrong.
somebody.
It's
which
ridiculous.
We'll talk about later.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It is as ridiculous as it is that he is a secondary character in this Mario movie. I think his hype moments.
Like fucking main character. Like he's almost as much of a main character as like Peach, Toad, and he's definitely more important than Toad. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll save that for later as well.
Yeah, as ridiculous as that is, I think his hype moments in Ore worked on me too well. I think it's already because I already thought Fox is a really cool character, so I guess to see him in the big screen was just like very cathartic. I don't know. I think you won me over. I think this is one of the many things where it's like, yeah, you're right. In an objective sense, this kind of sucks. In objective sense, this kind of sucks, but like, I think they grabbed me by the balls with this one. I'm afraid. I really liked Fox in this.
Well, for me, there's nothing to grab, so it didn't work on them.
I think that's all my opening points. I think let's get to what you have to say now.
As we both said, we have like notepads and shit, and like full on like notes and stuff. And what mine was layered scene by scene, going into like each scene and how the movie would play out. And at the end, I would have like a general like final point. So basically, with me, we're gonna have to dive into every single one of the fucking scenes now.
Damn, alright, yeah, I just had like, mine was more broad. I just have a list of like pros and cons, and then a mixed feelings tab, and then closing thoughts. Oh, damn, you got, you got a lot more to say.
I got the whole 9 yards.
Alright, let's hear it.
So let's start off with how the movie opens, with everyone's like, everyone's like the whole intro text and all that, and then it shows, the observatory flying through space and all that. And we get the intro bit where Rosa's like reading the stories to all her Luma kids, and then Megalek shows up and it's Junior, and then she like gets stolen, and then Junior takes off. Like that whole intro scene, which in my opinion, best part of the whole movie.
That was
I
a
thought
really
it
good
was
opening,
the best scene in the entire movie. It made me happy. The intro scene when like Rosa was about to like start reading and Luma played in the background, it was the moment when I was like, wait a minute. This movie's kind of gas. Wait a minute.
This movie's actually about Galaxy? What the fuck?
This movie's good. And then Megalek shows up and fucking ruins everything. I will say one thing though. When Junior shows up, he is by far my favorite character in the movie. Genuinely, Junior is the best character in the whole movie.
I really like Junior in this.
Not only was he really fun to watch, especially with Bowser, like him and Junior were really cute together, especially in, we'll get to the scene later with like the whole backstory and all that.
Yeah.
But like, he was just fun to watch. Like genuinely, I really liked them. There was the whole thing about like his eyes, the whole design thing, which I didn't mind it personally. I think the only time it did make me go like, ugh, was when like he did the wide eye thing, where you could see like the whites. That made me kind of like, ugh.
I wasn't really sold on the voice. I was like, I don't know if this fits Bowser Jr., but I guess they wanted to find someone who just sounded like Jack Black, but like higher pitched. And I
I
guess they
personally
did a
don't
good
mind the
job at
voice.
that. I
I
think it's a
think the voice
decent
is
voice.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the main reason why I can tolerate the voice is just in general I can tolerate this stuff, but also I associate Bowser Jr.'s voice with Super Mario Logan's Jr. voice, so yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that says a lot about me.
I think I was just pleasantly surprised of like how deep they got of like the relationship between Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s
Mhm.
uh
There
like
was
dynamic.
one real issue I have with the two of them, but I'll save that for
Yeah,
later.
we'll get to that.
But man, let me get back to the intro sequence. I will say right off the bat, I didn't notice it in the first viewing, but I noticed it the moment I like saw it pointed out on Twitter. If you look closely at Rosa's shelf, which you get a good like close-up shot when she's like pulling out the book, you get to see Sam, our bread and butter, Paper Marcus.
Oh my
He's there.
goodness! It's Paper Marcus. I love
You
Paper
get to see
Marcus.
you get to see like fucking you get to see like Sticker Star. You get to see the fucking Dark Prognostis, which why the fuck does she have it?
Yeah, why?
Why the
That's
fuck does she have it?
it's a little concerning.
Why does she have it?
I don't know why she has
You
that.
also get to see apparently, if you look closely at one of them looks to be a slight change to the book, but that could potentially be Thousand Year Door. One of them has Tippy on it, and one of them seems to have a bunch of random stars, at least like 7 of them, which could just be me, but that could be maybe 64, but genuinely, that was pretty cool. As long as other references, like there was like the Shine sprite there was a reference to Nintendo's like old like card logo from when they used to make cards. And also the Watness logo from Brothership was there.
I missed a lot,
And
I'm
genuinely,
realizing.
it was genuinely like a little fun, like, oh my god, they acknowledged it, the series that I love, and they hate apparently.
Yeah, I'm realizing
But yeah, it was
I missed a lot of background Easter eggs. One of my friends is like, "Oh, there was a part I bet you really liked." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it was like, "Oh yeah, the Mario like Sunshine Hawaiian shirt was like caught somewhere."
oh yeah, I noticed that. When it comes to that fucking shirt, I'll spot it any moment.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I can't believe I missed that." I would have soared so hard.
Dude, get ready for the next movie where they actually have Mario wearing it.
Oh, please.
Anyway, so the rest of the intro sequence, the only really thing I have to say is that it's another character point. I'm not really the biggest fan of how the Lumas are portrayed in like this universe.
Really?
I think it's more so because they're treated as just a bunch of like little brats and such, which I'm just kind of like, what? Like, you see how like fucking shit they are. Like we'll get to the scene later, but like their whole thing, like the entire event of the movie, they're just fucking around, like playing pretend and all that, which is kind of cute. But it's like, your mother's literally gone. Like, she's being killed right now. Can you not show some respect?
I just assumed they didn't know like she was like taken necessarily.
They saw her get taken away, though. That's the
Wait,
thing.
I thought only
saw
like
her.
one of them did.
No, like they show like all the Lumas peering out of the broken door, like
Oh,
looking
shit,
up
right.
at the UFO.
Yeah, it is
like,
a little
they
weird.
know
now
that
you
she's
think about
gone.
it. Now you say
They
it's
know
a
that
bit.
she's gone. I guess you could say it's just, oh, they're little children and all that, but it's like, even like in that situation, I feel like they would be concerned a little. Like, I'd definitely be concerned if like I'd be bawling my eyes out if that was the case.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle being like 2 feet away from my mother when I was young. How do you expect like her being killed as we speak? But it's basically like, I kind of wish that maybe the Luma that was taken with Rosa was like the baby one, the white one from like the
Oh,
Galaxy games.
right.
But that's just more of a nitpick.
Yeah,
doesn't really matter.
I think so. I mean, I guess
It's
she's
just
more
I feel
like
it would've been-
she's more recognizable with like the yellow one these days.
Yeah.
What she's in Smash.
And then the next scene after the title card with like the fucking speed lines and shit, the rainbow
Ooh.
speed lines, has the Mario Bros going to what was the place called again? The Sand Kingdom
Toast Arena.
or some shit. Yeah, that place where they have to deal with, you know, the whole plumbing issue or some shit where it's revealed to be Yoshi. Yoshi is so cute.
That was nice. Yeah, Yoshi is so cute.
So
And Luigi
cute.
makes me gassy.
I did like the intro a lot, like the little Yoshi backstory. I thought that was fun. I thought it was
That was
genuinely
funny. I thought that was
fun,
really
too.
funny.
It was a fun little get to see him like do how like what happened to him in the post credits. But also, this is the scene where Little Mac shows up in like the little flashes. You get to see a guy running by, and then another one on a bike, which apparently that is Doc and Little Mac who's running. Like
Aw,
if you look
damn.
closely, you can see like the pink hoodie he has on. Again, you know.
Yeah, I missed that.
And that was a little cute little thing. I liked it. It was a nice little introduction.
Hmm.
And then I was a little confused though, cause like Yoshi comes out of the egg and is immediately like big when like aren't there baby Yoshis, but
Yeah, I wanted to
might
be
just
like the
be
little like
a mixture.
grumpy baby Yoshi. I wish he started
Yeah,
out
I thought
like
it was gonna
that.
be like that, but it was also I felt like it was a little like Yoshi knows all these skills and he was just born. Like what the fuck? He knows how to be like Spider-Man and shit with his tongue.
Hmm. I think what I have down for Yoshi is that like I think Yoshi was fun, but he doesn't really do that much in the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that. I was gonna
He's
get into that.
Because like I felt like he was teased at the end of the first movie before they had a full idea for what the second movie is like, and they realized they
Mhm.
wrote their second movie and they're like, ah, fuck, Yoshi doesn't really do anything, does he?
Oh, I have a whole fucking thing with it.
Oh yeah.
And I guess it gets followed up by I think it gets followed up by, Junior showing what Junior's like his grand plan is and all that, which nothing really to say other than Junior's fun. Although
Hmm.
it is the last time we'll see Rosa for a very long time.
Yeah, that was ooh.
I will save my general opinion on her when we get to way later in the movie, but
Okay, then I'll
she
save
like
mine
tries
too.
to kick ass. At least like we get to see what like Junior's motivation is at the very least, and it establishes the whole paint thing with his paintbrush.
That's cool. Yeah, I like
It's a
how
fun
it's a callback to sort of
Mhm.
Mario Sunshine because
Mario
it kind of
Sunshine with a
is
mixture of
a
like
game of
wonder
origin.
and
Yeah.
such.
Hmm.
And then it cuts to like the next scene, which is the bros preparing for Peach's
Hey,
birthday.
it's Peach's
It's her
birthday.
birthday. She's like fucking 24 or some shit. I don't know. The song that Luigi sings. Genuinely, I think that was my favorite reference in the whole movie, other than the Paper Mario stuff.
Oh, do you think that they were referencing like Mario teaches typing when he sings in that game?
There's no other instance they would have included it.
Yeah, my assumption was just like, oh, they just include it because like it's an Italian song and they're Italians, but if
Mhm.
if it actually is like a supposed to be a reference to that, that would be really funny.
It has to be. It feels like too much of a coincidence. And then there's the whole, Mario has a crush on Peach, which Miyamoto, we don't care what you say, you're lying.
Yeah, I like how they brought back the romance. It was just a really weird phase where like Miyamoto was just so insistent that they're just friends and that they're good friends. And
It's
it's like,
so
come on.
weird because like they clearly are like lovers of some kind. Like they were kind
Hmm.
of made for each other, you know?
Yeah.
I like that they brought it back here. I like Mario and Peach being together. It's a fun little dynamic.
Yeah, they were really nice. Yeah, just in my notes, I just thought Mario and Peach had a lot of like cute scenes. I think like
Yeah, they're
later
fun
on
together.
when like Peach is like kicking rocks and shit, and then Mario joins in and kicks rocks with it. I thought that was probably my favorite scene. That was really cute.
Yeah, I have another moment. I have like two like scenes to talk about with that, which I'll save to later. But I genuinely like their dynamic here. It was fun to watch them
Yeah, they were
together.
fun. I just wish because there's just so much shit going on. There's like they get like 3 scenes, and that's it,
Yeah,
which is a shame.
and then we get to the next scene, which is the party shit. This is when they're celebrating the party and everything. One thing I really liked is that I saw a tweet that someone joked about before the movie came out. That was just like the idea that like the music playing is Mario and Luigi's like music playlist from like Brooklyn, so you can hear all the horrible taste they have. Is really funny of an idea.
That's funny.
But I also liked another thing, which is this is something I noticed a lot, and you can tell is that I like how like in the background vocals, like you can hear like a lot of like of course like the background toads and other characters, how it's like the usual Hollywood voice actors and all that they have hired, and then randomly you'll just hear like a yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
toad
weird.
voice.
That was something in
It
the
was
first
like
movie too.
so. It's like every now and then you just go from like the deep like toads like who sound like Robin from Teen Titans to then the actual toad sounds from New Super Mario Bros. Wii that have been reusing for years.
Yeah, it was kind of like with Bowser in the the first movie.
Yeah,
Where
Bowser
just like out of
sometimes does
nowhere, he
the
would just do
roaring
like a
sounds.
Bowser roar. Yeah,
Yeah, from 3D World, and then suddenly you just hear "You will not regret this." Like it's
yeah,
it takes you out of it for a moment, but I do like how they kind of make it work. And then it cuts to Mario and Peach having a little moment.
that
Whereas
was nice. Yeah,
like Peach is kind of talking about how she doesn't like birthdays, and it starts. This is when in the theater my fears started to become true, but
what
we'll
was the
save
moment?
that
What
for
was the
the.
very moment?
It was the very moment when I was just like, oh no, they're gonna do it. Oh no, they're gonna do it. Oh no, they're gonna do it. I did like that moment
Oh,
genuinely. I thought it was a fun little thing, like a little scene of Mario and Peach like bonding. And like Mario being like the whole Luigi saying that like this was the worst birthday ever. I thought that was a fun thing, you know, kids being kids.
Yeah.
But then like when they're about to like start like kissing and all that or do some shit, like the Star Festival happens. All the fucking shooting stars or some shit. Which I am a little confused about because I thought that it happened because, you know, the Comet Observatory flew by, not that a bunch of shooting stars passed by.
I
I'm a
don't
little
know.
confused on that.
I don't think it's like supposed to be Star Festival. I think it's just supposed
It
to be
might
like
not be. It's a general point I want to save for later, but it's like, I feel like the movie expects you to know, like, all of these things and all that, which to me is like, I mean, of course I'm gonna get it. I know Mario, but like, to somebody who hasn't, like, could you at least give like a reasoning for some of these things? But it's just like, again, I know this because I'm a fucking Mario fan, but like, to like somebody like my stepmom who doesn't know much about Mario, it's like, what is happening here? Like, is like
Yeah.
an alien invasion happening or some shit? But then like, the Luma, it fucking crash lands. And dude, Toad, he has the Captain Toad helmet.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
He
Yeah, the
has
headlamp.
it in that single scene. He has the headlamp, and the Luma, apparently, according to Twitter, said fuck. Peach took it in and was just like, alright. Basically, our mother is like kidnapped and all that. We need your help, and she told us to come to you. And Peach is like, why me? And it's like, oh, you know.
Foreshadowing.
Dude was just like, oh, you know. But yeah, I think
Those
one of
who
my
knows.
second favorite jokes in the movie was when all of them like bust in and shit, and Mario's just like, oh, no, it's not what you see, but it's like, yes, we were eavesdropping. It's like, bro.
That was funny, yeah.
This is something I have to say. This is also something I applied to the first movie, but I'm more and more confused on why that one older Toad with the glasses isn't like Toadsworth or has a more unique design.
I don't know.
Because, like, I feel like it's a little weird seeing him, and then you hear, like, this deep-as-hell voice, but this is just a more of a me thing, where it's just, like, I kind of wish that dude was a little bit more original as design, compared to, like, his voice and kind of the role he has, but sure.
Wasn't it, like, concept art of, like, Toadsworth in the first movie?
Yes.
But then they just
In
went
the
with
first movie,
weird
it was
blue guy
originally
instead?
Toadsworth. Toadsworth and Toadette was originally gonna be there, but one didn't show up and one was renegated to just a poster.
I don't know what's up with the blue dude. I don't know what's the deal with him.
I really wish, this is a whole point that I have about Toads in general, but I really wish that they would get more quirky with the designs when it comes to mainline stuff. And this Toad guy, old man, is kind of the best, like, way I can describe it. Like, they should have just either given him just the Toadsworth treatment and just make him old, or just use Toadsworth, or they should have leaned into an actual design, but they just, no, same template, but just, he has a different outfit that, like 10 other Toads have as well, so he's not even that unique.
I see.
But, then, the Peach and Toad and the Luma decide to leave, or only the two of them and not the Luma, because it just turns into more launch stars or whatever, it's just gone now.
Yeah, the Peach and Toad go on their little,
They go on their little
B-plot,
journey.
their side adventure, yeah.
And it cuts immediately to Marcus doing a Mario 64 reference because of the leather.
Oh my, I can't believe I completely forgot about that. That was really fun. I like that.
It was one of those scenes where it's just like, oh my god, they did the thing. Dear mustache, focus M.
Yeah, and I think at this part, I think there's like a fun montage of them just like looking after the kingdom and stuff, because for a movie that was advertised as things happen one after another without a chance to catch your breath, I like how
This is like
this
the
part,
calm
they-
before the storm.
yeah, they just have a part where Mario and Luigi can just do things in the Mushroom Kingdom without getting to the space stuff like immediately.
I think my only real criticism you could say is that I feel like a lot of these like moments are just like, this is the shit Peach gets up to, like in her free time. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because like the stuff like the Hammer Bros I can't see, but stuff like, you know, the ice cream tucking the Toad into bed.
That was fun. I
all
like
that-
I like how some
It
like the
was
big
fun.
like the big alerts were just like a Toad like dropped a penny down the gutter or something.
Like I can see that it's like something Mario and Luigi may get up to, but it's like, is this the shit Peach gets up to? Like I don't think she has all that stuff.
Yeah,
She just
I
has
mean-
like, just call the cops, man.
Oh, I mean that's kind of what she's here for, I guess.
I think the only real things that maybe Yoshi should have had a bigger role here, because like the first two, like those moments are just like, bro, you didn't even show up for those.
Yeah.
You just ate a dog and just carried the Toad, and that was it.
Yeah, I feel like it just felt like they added him in post, honestly. It's like one of those like shitty like Mandela effect like posts where it's like Graggle Simpson was here the whole time.
And then it cuts to Bow Wow Bowser.
I don't think I have much to say since like this is one of the first like scenes they showed off. Yeah, you know what? I do like this scene I like
Mm-hmm.
how Mario's a smug little bitch to Bowser. I like
I
their
did notice
dynamic, and I
one
like how
thing.
Luigi and Bowser have no beef with each other.
Yeah,
They're
I did
chill.
notice something which is in the intro. From what it sounds like when he's like frantically painting the thing, I think if you listen closely, you can hear like Bowser's Keep from Super Mario RPG playing in the background, or at the very least the main melody, the like den den den
I did
den.
recognize that song, but like I couldn't put my finger on what it was. It had to be like a Bowser theme, but I couldn't put my
Mm-hmm.
finger on which
It's
game it
either
was
that
from.
or it's like a mixture of like that song with like a newer one or something else. I like the tail thing where you gets it caught in the door was fun. I do
The-
feel like it was a little dragged out, but I did
Maybe.
like it.
You know what? The thing is that like I walked out of the theater with this one friend of mine who's so like brain rotted beyond repair. He was like, "Do you think that was a reference to the Bowser fart gif?" And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Bro, shut your mouth.
That's all he
No.
talks about nowadays, and I'm like, "Dude, please." There's more to
Oh
life
my
than Bowser
god.
fart gif.
But then the castle shakes, and suddenly
Oh my
the
god.
UFO shows up, and it gets into the intro bit from Galaxy, where the
Yeah.
UFO lifts up the castle, and it's Junior who wants his dad back and all that. Which this fight scene, it was pretty damn cool. This one was cool, and I noticed this a lot in the movie, but with Junior, when he has like the wonder effect thing with the mask, they play a lot more with the camera angles when he like roars and such, which is
Yeah.
really fun to see. Like they do the perspective thing where on this like frame it looks like it's really up close and such, but when you move the camera, like his neck is like stretched out insanely long and such.
Yeah, there was like so I came to the movie with one of my friends who's not that huge on Mario, but he had a really fun time. And I think what he got out of this the most is like he really liked the fight choreography. The fight choreography
I
of
did
like the
like
camera shots and all the movement and attacks and shit. That was
I
really
like
hype to
Luigi
see.
using the cabinet as the way to block the axe.
Yeah, I think the fight scenes were really well choreographed and animated. Those are really fun to
Mhm.
watch.
And then they make a quick escape, but then the castle gets dropped and shit. And now they're in I guess Honey Hive Galaxy, I guess,
Yeah,
or like a reimagining of it.
here's the thing. Here's one point I have about this movie is that I don't know if it was you, but did you really feel like that much of like an atmospheric like difference between the Mushroom Kingdom and the Honey Hive Galaxy?
Oh no, it felt like the exact same.
It just felt like the same, but now like there's big flowers.
It's mainly because to me it's like with how Honey Hive was in the original, it was very like abstract and there's a bunch of floating stuff and there's honeycombs everywhere and such, and there's like waterfalls and such. But here it's like it's just a giant plain with flowers.
Yeah, so I think this connects to like a bigger point of mine. I think one of my biggest points against the movie. It's hard to really think of this as a Galaxy movie, even when they try
I was gonna
to.
say it
Yeah,
that this movie, it sure as hell is not a Galaxy movie.
yeah, because they do feature some stuff from there, like the whole Observatory, Honey Hive Galaxy, it just taking place in space and all that. But I think
Mhm.
ideas from the actual game are like few and far between, and in the middle you just
Yeah.
have general Mario stuff. Because Gateway Galaxy, we'll get to that. Straight up, it's not Gateway
We will
Galaxy at
get
all.
to that. I feel so annoyed about that one.
Yeah, in fact, I might even be like the scene like right after the one we're talking about. We spent
But
like quite a bit of time in these locations that were nowhere to be found in the Galaxy games, where I think the concepts from the actual game are sidelined. Even if they just wanted to like write a new Galaxy story, like a hypothetical like Galaxy 3 or like an alternate Galaxy story, I think it greatly underdelivers. I think it hardly takes advantage of like that limitless potential of outer space that like the original duology of games
it
excelled
does
at
so much
demonstrating.
to the point where what was originally a regular galaxy in Galaxy 2, with like the big one where it's like all the coins and blocks are big and the Goombas, was just turned into part of the montage. That's how
Yeah,
much it
in the
does it.
Mushroom Kingdom. That's the thing is like
Exactly.
they don't really do a good job to like make the other planets they go to feel alien compared to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mhm.
It's like,
Or
wow,
like with at least
there's a
the
kingdom of bees in this galaxy. Okay, well, back in planet Earth, there's a kingdom of monkeys. So like, what's so crazy about that? What's so
compared
alien
to
about
like
that?
with Galaxy here and there, it's like, oh, there's an entire like giant like fucking bowl that's just water with like a beach there, and then in the distance there's a bunch of swamps like doing their whole thing. Here's like one where everything's like giant and shit, and then here's another one which is entirely made of a bunch of chain chomps like You have to like guide them through and use like the switch platforms. One is just entirely made of the switching blocks.
There's a chain
It's
shop
just,
like factory. That was a cool one.
yeah, it just there's so many like potential ideas and such that they go with, and they feel all unique. But here it's just like it's just the exact same like planes, but the background is just different.
Yeah,
That's the best way to put it.
Like compare the galaxies from the game compared to the ones in the movie. Let's see, you go to Gold Leaf, Autumn theme. You have Toy Time. It's just a whole galaxy full of toys, and like the background is like
It's inside of a fucking room.
Yeah, it's inside some room. What else? There's
One of them has like
Dreadnoughts.
the whole retro, like 8-bit sprites in the background.
There's like Matter Splatter, where it's like the ground like comes in like drops of like matter and stuff. Where do we go in the movie? We go to Gateway Galaxy, which is like a spaceport. We go to Honey Hive, Grassy Planet, and then we go to this other grassy planet, this time with one
And then we go to Space Junk Galaxy, which is
space.
Yeah, sure was used.
Yeah, they just don't take full advantage of unlimited like environmental variety that you can get from Mario Galaxy. But it's just we go from Grass Planet of the Mushroom Kingdom, then we go to Grass Sunny World of Honey Hive, and then Grassy Sunny World of the Prehistoric Planet.
I think when it comes to, as we said, like this doesn't feel like a Galaxy movie, is that I would describe as that 35% of the movie is Galaxy, but 15% of that is just because they're in space, and that's it.
It's just like the vague concept of Mario Galaxy,
yeah,
where it's just Mario is set in space and there's Rosalina.
Exactly, that's how I would describe it. It's just, in general, it's just so disappointing, because to me it should have really been like 65 should have been Galaxy, at least 50%. At the very least, it should have been that. But like they didn't want to commit, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And then they go off, and now they're in Honey Hive. But then it cuts to back to Peach and Toad.
And where are
like
they,
flying?
Charlotte?
And they land on Gateway. Which, what the fuck did they do?
Oh my god,
dude. We talked about how this movie didn't really doesn't respect Galaxy as a whole. Gateway Galaxy is the pinnacle of that.
Yeah, so here, Charlotte, how would you describe Gateway Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 1?
Beautiful. That's the best way I would use it. Beautiful.
Very quiet.
Atmospheric. Quiet, exactly. Mario Galaxy is full of those somber moments and such where you're like, wait a minute, this is a Mario game? Or stuff like, at least to me, when I'm just kind of you just hear my controller just get placed down, and I'm just like, wait,
yeah,
hold up.
It's so serene.
Hold the moment. I'm getting tears. Even though as much as it's still a Mario game, it's not full of all that, but
right.
Galaxy has so many of those moments where it's just wait, hold on, take a moment, just listen to the music and see the atmosphere.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna get emotional in any part of a Mario game, it's gonna be Gateway Galaxy. Either that or Slimy Spring at the end of that.
When it comes to me, Gateway Galaxy is my favorite galaxy in Galaxy 1 because it's simple as fuck, but it's a great introduction to the game, but also just a great atmospheric place to be. And as you mentioned, Slimy Spring, but also stuff like Space Junk and all the world themes, all the hub worlds and such from Galaxy 2. Those are fucking beautiful. I love them. But what did they do here? They just look over at it and are just like, oh yeah, we gotta include you. Let's just there we go, brand new.
Yeah, you know what I thought was missing from the original? I think there should have been an airport, you know?
You know what I think was missing? You know what they should have added? They should have included a giant a airport and all that, as you said. But even more so, let's have a copy of the first movie scene of Toad walking Mario through the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's just have it now, but this time it's Gateway Galaxy, and you see all these wacky characters in the background, wood people and all that such, and it's just what do you do? I get what they were going for. This is kind of the pinnacle of oh, this is where people come and go, which in my interpretation of Gateway Galaxy is that it is basically the bridge where it's okay, if you go out any further, you're just in the complete loneliness of space. But if you don't decide to go any further, the Mushroom Kingdom or Earth is right there. That was my interpretation of it. But here they're just nah.
I think they made that they turned that metaphor into something too literal, where now it's an airport.
Exactly, and it's just fuck, man. But it gets even worse when you see what shows up next.
Oh yeah, it's beyond that, they industrialized this what was a nice little garden in outer space. Now there's a whole fucking underground civilization and illegal gambling and shit. And I'm like, what?
To me, as fun as the scene was, it was so pointless. You could have cut this whole scene through the movie and it wouldn't change a single
Yeah,
thing.
I'm like, oh, we're getting a
This
little,
was just filler.
we're getting a
This
little
was
sidetracked
genuinely
right now,
filler.
aren't we? Yeah.
It was so filler. They
Yeah.
did not need to do this even more, especially because they try to make it seem even bigger with like how at the end, because like we know like Wart is also there and like the Mario Bros 2 bosses and such. They make it seem like he's such a bigger threat and all that when like he doesn't show up for the rest of the movie. He doesn't show up ever again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, are you kidding me? Because like this could have been a fun little. Maybe they show up in like maybe like in the final third act. They like Bowser like gets them to come back and such, and then they're like, oh, we're here to stop you one last time, but this time we're like even more explosive and such or whatever the fuck. But then, like, no, they just don't show up. The way they get, this is another big point that I have, but, like, they try to make it seem so cool and all that, but then they just get shoved out immediately.
Yeah.
Like, they're dealt with in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's, like, some sort of, like, anti-punchline where they just set up Wart as this big bad, but then he gets, like, iced by one turnip.
Apparently, there was a little quick split in between where, like, it cuts back to Mario and shit. But, like, it's basically just shows Mario making Bowser big, and then they do a Mario RPG reference where Bowser kisses Mario.
Yeah, that
or
I
at
was
least to me, it
expecting
wasn't an RPG reference. It felt a little too disconnected from the context to be that, but I can see. It is, I will say the only thing is that, Luigi's fucking stupid, because, like, I get why he would be more nicer to Bowser, but, like, he still knows the events of the first movie happened.
Yeah, he's still, like, a
come
little,
on.
like, he's, like, too, forgiving.
He's too nice, is the
Yeah,
best way
he's
to
too
put it.
naive.
But like back to the casino shit. Let's get on with one of my big problems with the movie, which is highlighted
Lay it on
perfectly
me.
here. Okay, you know me, Sam. You know me very well, right? How much do you know me? Take a wild guess. But you know what? One of my favorite things of Mario. What is my favorite? One of my favorite things to come out of Mario. What is my character? Let me just put that.
I'm fucking stupid, Toad.
Exactly. One of my favorite things out of Mario is Toad. I fucking love the Toads. They are one of my favorite creatures of all time. How do you think I feel about the movie's interpretation of Toad?
He's just kinda there, isn't he?
Toad, in the first movie, was genuinely useless. Here, you could cut him out, nothing would change. He was worthless.
I don't know, someone's backpack had to get stolen so we could get sidetracked from the mission.
Oh my god, I genuinely, holy shit, they did my boy Toad so fucking dirty.
I mean, I guess
my
Peach had
God.
I guess someone had to go with Peach so she wasn't doing this E-plot alone.
I
even then, I don't think he
hate
gets
movie
time.
Toad, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't like him in the slightest.
Really?
Okay, hate is a strong word, but he is the epitome of missed potential, is what I would call it.
I suppose
I
so.
went,
I just don't know like
well-
what else he would really do.
In the first movie, every single scene he was in, you could like cut him out and write some shit in that would be like, oh, he's just worthless. Because like in reality, when you really think about it, he doesn't do anything, like at all.
No.
In the first movie, he doesn't do anything at all. The most you could say, like, oh, Mario wouldn't have found the kingdom if he wasn't there. But like, yeah, you could say that. But like, Mario would have easily been able to find the fucking castle in the distance. But then like, you could say like, oh, but how would he get there? How would he get to Peach? Because like the guards are guarding him, and he wouldn't know how to get there. I feel like he would like. Some of the Toads would like spot him, and then they'd be like, "We gotta bring this to Peach. Like this is fucking news." Because like they literally highlight in the scenes where like Toad is walking him through the kingdom that people are like weirded out by him. Like someone might have been like, "We should like bring that guy to Peach." Like what the fuck? And especially with like the scene of like the Toads, like the blue and yellow, which like them being there as guards, which like they could like Mario is smart. He could figure out a way to distract them. If anything, in the movie, Toad is more of like a hindrance, because like. You know, like in the cart scene where like they're riding on Rainbow Road and like Toad's car like blows up and shit, and like Peach has to fly it back. Peach wouldn't have to do that if he wasn't there, and even more so with like the scene where like Bowser's about to like kidnap her and all that. And then I feel like Peach would have just kicked ass there and all that, which we'll get to the general thing and with her later. I have another whole thing about her. But like if Toad wasn't there, Peach wouldn't have easily like gone with him.
Yeah, well, I guess
then-
I guess if you are a bigger Toad fan than I am, so I guess that's why you're feeling more a lot
And
more
then-
frustration than I did.
And then when it comes to this movie, if you thought that he was useless in the first movie, he is so worthless here. He has no plot relevance here or anything. You could cut him out, and he doesn't make a single change in the movie, except that Peach has someone with him. and that's
Yeah.
it. Which, one of my main issues with the first movie was like, oh, Toad wasn't as much here, so how about we give him, like, something to do? So they like, okay, he has penguin suit. He does the penguin, which is like, already, I like that. The penguin suit was funny. It was cool and
I
good
like
in the
Penguin
new
Toad.
suit Wii. It's just a little fun way to get Toad to do something, especially with the ninjas showing up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they do? They just immediately cut back to Peach. She gets all the spotlight.
Oh yeah, now that I think about it, most of the fight choreography was on her, wasn't it?
It was just entirely on Peach. Toad gets like 5 seconds of screen time, and then gone. He's gone again. They literally have him go off screen, and it is the biggest fuck you ever. It is simply just manipulation to show that Toad is more important when, like, no, he isn't.
Yeah, they did that to specifically piss you off.
And it's just so annoying, because, again, as I said, I fucking love Toad. He is perfect. I love the little guy. And they had such a great base to work off with, because my favorite interpretation of Toad is the one from the cartoons, the Super Show on the Adventures of Mario Bros. 3. I fucking love him, that show. Not only is he genuinely one of the funnest characters in those cartoons, but more importantly, he's actually, you know, capable. He does stuff. He is important to the cast. Like, if you cut him out of the show, the rest would be pretty fucked in a lot of situations. One of the episodes has, like, Toad thinking that, like, oh shit, Bowser kidnapped a shit ton of money that was supposed to go to, like, a bunch of orphans. But, like, what he does is that he basically, like, gets his, like, Toad cousins to, like, help him, like, set up a fight choreography. Toad gets Mario and Luigi to help, and they get money for the orphans and shit. Toad is basically treated as Peach's Luigi, aka, like, her sidekick. And it's a really fun dynamic to watch, because even more so, in the cartoons especially, Toad is fucking tiny as hell. If you think that, like, Toads are short in nowadays in the movies and such, like, they're around 3 feet, Toad in the cartoons is like 1 foot tall or some shit. And yet he can jump as high as Mario. He is a capable little guy, and he is so fucking good. They had a perfect base to go off. They could simply just do that again, and yet they don't. They fucking don't. They just waste what could have been one of the best characters, and they just didn't. They just didn't. And you wanna know what even more so sucks? In the third act of the scene, he doesn't even show up in the third act.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think they realized, like, this guy doesn't do anything. Let's just have him chill in the
He is just
ship.
gone. He is gone. He has one single line, and for the rest of the fucking 15 or so minutes left, he doesn't say a single word, and even then before, he barely spoke before in the last scene that he was in. So it is the perfect example of not only did they not know how to fix a lot of the characters from the first movie, but they didn't want to, because they just sidelined them even more so.
Yeah, not the greatest representation,
They
I must say.
fuck with my boy so hard, and it sucks, because he's so beautiful. I love him, but no. And then follows up with the whole, like, oh, Word is gonna be important. He's gonna show up later, and he, like, calls Junior and all that shit, but doesn't go anywhere.
I think
there was another point that I have here, which it's about Peach, but I want to save that as a much later thing.
Yeah, when it comes to Toad, I think you said everything I had to say about him and more. I think pretty underutilized, could have done more. Alright, then I think the scene that happens next is the one that I'm like, holy fuck. Like, could you not have made this movie like a little bit longer? It's when they arrive at the you know, the honey hive, like, castle or whatever. This scene is like so fast. She's like, you guys destroyed our landscape. You need to pay for your crimes. Like, I was like, no, I'll do it. And then she's like, okay, then we'll send the other 3 home. Then we get like 30 seconds of like Bowser doing community service. Then he gets abducted by Bowser Jr. and they unite. And I'm like, okay, I guess that was all there is with the honey hive stuff. Like, he was barely locked up at all. It makes his sacrifice mean like nothing at all.
Yeah, they really should have just spent like at least like a minute or two more on there. Like, have Honey Queen like kind of be like, are you really as worthy as you say you are? Do this thing. Like, this is where you could do like, oh, to show really how worthy you are and all that. Have you like go to the, you know, like, you know, in the original Galaxy, how they were like, oh, all the bugs and shit are invading us. They could have it that where they have to go on a little side plot where they then have to do all the bug shit or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Take care of those, and then they're allowed to leave.
In the movie, they're already enslaved.
Exactly.
With the bug rooms.
And then, as you said, like, Bowser immediately gets captured, which leads in to Junior and Bowser reuniting.
That was nice. I really liked the flashback they had and like the moment they had
That
together.
whole flashback was really cute.
Yeah, I think I found that like when it comes to the games, I think like the relationship when they show it, but when they do, I always like when they show the relationship between Bowser and Bowser Jr. I think Sunshine was really good at that. Some of the RPGs too were great at that.
The best way to put it is like in a paper jam, because like Bowser, when you beat up the paper Bowser Jr.'s like boss there, Bowser gets fucking pissed when he sees like his son like down on the ground and such. And it's just like, come on, dude.
You know what? I was thinking like interesting thing about Bowser. I find like Bowser's like sort of anti-arc or like regression to back to being the villain.
Oh, you mean the
was,
redemption arc thing?
That was pretty
non-existent.
Yeah, no, here's the thing though. I actually found it like pretty interesting because I always thought like Bowser's gonna be like, oh, I'm rehabilitated, I'm nice now. I thought that was all he was just playing it up, and like he was actually, he didn't want to even give it a chance. But like I was pleasantly surprised to find out like you could actually see a moment where he was genuinely like, considering to be chill with them now. But I think Bowser is like put into a pretty interesting conflict now. Like his son is looking up to him and he wants to go through with the plan of ruling the universe and stuff and like destroying it, but Bowser's like a split between going with the plan of his son or making sure they're not caught in like the crossfires, because he's like grown to kind of care about them. And honestly,
like, I like that. I think it's a cool idea, like definitely.
Yeah, I think at the end where it turns out he's won over by Bowser Jr., maybe that was like a bit controversial because like it kind of like he kind of regresses back to being like the big bad villain instead of like showing a change in character. But to be honest, I think that's like the most Bowser thing that he could have done, is he's like, I feel like in any of the games like RPGs when he's like shown to being a good guy, I think they've always depicted like, yeah, and the next game he's gonna go back to being an asshole, which I think that's what they showed here pretty well too.
I think more for me, I do like that idea. My only issue with it though is that like it kind of happens off screen, or like the big like drop where he's fully convinced happens off screen. Because like in the next scene, you see him immediately like pissed and all that when it's like, calm down, calm down, calm down.
I think it's I think what got him fired up is like the speech that he gave to the Bowser army. I think that's like when he's fully back to. I think it just goes to show like why he's eventually won over to his son's side. I think that's just like really good like representation of how much his son means to him, that he's willing to like
it's just more for me. I feel like they should have just showed a bit more screen time of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could have changed it so that Bowser was just pretending to be nice and all that, but he's still like, just don't kill them or anything.
Yeah.
Or do some Eggman shit where he's just like, I want to be the one who kills them instead. Yeah, I get it's nice watching the two together. And it's like I do wish they handle it a bit better, but I do get why you really like it, and I agree. It was pretty, it was fun. The puppet show was nice. It was a fun little watch, and yeah, and we got a little bit more Easter eggs, like the Mario Galaxy bosses are Junior's plushes.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
And then it cuts to back to Peach. It shows like Rob, the robot there.
Yeah, he was not. I mean, I talked about
scene
before.
where he's
I
taken 5 years.
Yeah. I think one of the people I was with, they made a joke where it's like, I don't think the movie has the time to make a haha he's slow joke.
Well,
but they did. But yeah, you know what? I thought it was funny. I liked Rob. I think it's a funny reference to how like the original toy had like really slow arms.
And then we get to, you know who, Fox McCloud.
Yeah.
Which they didn't do the cringe intro scene as I thought they would do with in their stream. We're gonna have a scene where like Mario's like floating through space, a hand grabs him, yeah, Mario gets pulled up to his spaceship, it's just like, oh, thank you so much. Oh, yo, are you a fox? McCloud.
Oh god, ew. No, I hate that. But I actually really like the rapid fire like backstory with like the animation shit. That was really cool.
Dude, that rapid fire intro. Okay, give me 2D animated Star Fox movie in that style.
Yeah, no, I just want like an animated series in that style.
Give me that.
That would be really cool.
That would genuinely be cool.
I think that was like the very moment where I was won over before I was skeptical about adding Fox to the movie. Which like, yeah, it's still like ridiculous that he's here as much as he is, but like, it's hard to stay mad.
Fox was fun to watch and it proves that he should get a movie. But on the other hand, it's like, yeah.
I think there's the part where like Mario, Luigi, I think the 5 of them, they reunite. And then I like the
Mario and Peach awkward thing.
That was funny.
I do like how they didn't do the Fox and Mario having beef with like
Yeah, I
the
like
whole
how they
love
were
triangle
setting that
thing. I
up
like
as
that
a
they dropped
rivalry,
it.
but then they're like, hey, I like this guy. He's pretty chill.
Hmm.
But yeah, now they're all gonna go into the R wing. They're flying off. It's playing the Star Fox music. He's flying around. He
But
does a
suddenly,
barrel
boom!
roll and shit.
UFOs behind them.
Ooh. They have for some reason he has a gadget that turns people into babies. I guess that explains
Did you see
why
the
they
all the
became babies.
gadgets Trigger had as well?
I did see the flood. I did see the
There's a
poltergust.
flood. There's also the poltergust.
Yeah, this make me wonder. Like, this is all obviously like EGAD shit, right? They, even Kamek had a mug with EGAD's symbol
Yeah.
on it. So I'm like, what does that do? Like, did he just like sell this shit without like go like reading through
Yeah, it's just
qualifications?
your average streamer.
Yeah, and he's just like, because like I always thought it was a bit strange where it's just like in Mario Sunshine, Bowser Jr. is like, yeah, this guy in a coat just gave this to me. But in this, like, he gave you your whole fucking his whole fucking supply.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? Why,
like,
why
what-
do you
what-
have
what
all
is
this
up with this
stuff,
man?
dude? Wait, were you holding him at gunpoint to do all that?
Yeah, but yeah, they turn to
then-
babies, and then they get to the one bit of the movie where I'm like, why are we here?
This is another filler scene for me. Like, the casino and this scene are like filler scenes for me.
I don't know, the babies is just like a really weird setback. I think they want to feature baby Mario and Luigi. Like, I feel like I get the purpose of being here. There's supposed to be some sort of like setback before they get to the real deal. But like, they could have picked like any more interesting ideas for a galaxy. We could have gone to Freeze Flame, which I guess they do fly through that one like lava core like planet thing at one point.
Yeah.
Freeze Flame,
And
but I
it's
don't know,
from
we could
Free
have gone
Flame,
to...
and it's just a tiny little speck.
Could have gone to Toy Time. We could have gone to fucking
Boogie
Fishbone
Bays,
Galaxy. I would have.
fucking Gusty Garden does not even appear in the fucking movie.
I mean, at this point, I won't even want Gusty Garden because it'd just be too similar to Honey Hive.
Yeah, and even then, like, they have the music plastered everywhere, and they don't fucking include it.
I think what could have been cool and way like more fitting than the Odyssey T-Rex, which is on a different planet for some reason, not in the Cascade Kingdom, but whatever. We could have gone to Fishbone Galaxy, and while Fox is like preparing his
True.
ship, they get sidetracked and they gotta fight this big, the big bonefish guy. Because like it would have saved
And then
sort
it
of the
gets-
it's gonna serve the same purpose of like being like this big like beast they need to overcome, but it would have been more
Well, at
on
least it
theme
would have
and
been
it
more
would have been
fun to
like more
watch, I'd say.
variety. Yeah.
I was gonna mention how, like, the rest of the scene is, you know, more Yoshi's Island stuff with Yoshi running with the babies, and then they fall off, like, the skeleton thing, and then the T-Rex gets turned into a baby
Yeah,
as well.
I was about to say, like, I don't think anything else that happens until they get in contact with the until the observatory gets here. I don't think anything like noteworthy happens.
And then, and then I like how the way that they do get the attention, how to get off the planet, is just Luigi fucking around with an intercom.
That was funny. I like that.
It's such a Luigi thing. He's like playing it big up with like, here we got a little green and bigger beagle, or whatever the fuck he said and all that. He just calls random shit there.
Like,
And
he
then it
didn't
cuts
even know
back
if
to
it
the
would actually
Lumas.
like work. He was just doing it for fun.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the Lumas, which haven't seen you since the beginning of the movie. I missed you. I missed
I
you.
fucking forgot this was a Galaxy movie.
And I did notice one thing, Kirby reference in that scene. Okay, one of the Lumas, it's like shows like zooming out the intercom. One of the Lumas just flies past doing the Kirby float thing.
Ah, damn. I missed a lot of these. Oh my god.
I'm
I guess
noticing
it's
left
worth a
and right.
second
I'm
watch.
fast.
Yeah.
I'm fast on my toes.
Yeah, I guess he did watch it 2 times in all fairness. I only watched it
I
once
did watch
yesterday.
it 2 times, and also a lot of Twitter posts are just like, "Oh my god, did you see this thing?"
Yeah, I think
And-
the observatory gets here from Luigi's communication.
Fucking around.
Yeah,
and all
they
that.
get picked up and they're on their way to the planet. But Peach is like snooping around, right? Going to the library.
I was gonna mention the observatory myself before we got to
Oh, yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Which, me personally, the observatory was so underutilized. Holy shit. The observatory is one of like the core aspects of Mario Galaxy as well as Rosa, which we'll get to in a second. But it's one of the core areas of the game, and yet it was here for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
that-
There was an idea that I saw on Twitter. Someone made a rewrite of the movie and changed some of the subplots. One of the things it changed was specifically, it did 2 things. Was it changed so Rosa wasn't captured, and instead it was a Grand Star that was captured. And then they moved the montage scene that was in the beginning and placed it right here, where it's like, Rosa's like, oh, go get at all the stars and shit. Because then we would get like more fun, you know, callbacks and references to other space Mario Galaxy stuff, but also we get more uptime on the observatory.
Yeah. Oh, I think it would have been a nice
But
change.
it would have been nice, but fucking The movie is such a clusterfuck to begin with.
Ooh, yeah, I'll say.
And it gets even worse with the next scene,
You know
as
what?
you were getting onto.
Yeah, I think at this part I was like, huh, interesting. So I
So,
don't
I will
have
give-
like a concrete feeling yet. I'm still very mixed on it. So you know what?
If you-
why don't you take it? The floor
Okay.
is yours.
I will say the first half of this movie, up until like the point they get to Gateway Galaxy for the first time, I thought genuinely this is a fun movie. I did have little icks here and there where it was like, oh, this, that, all that, like as I said in the beginning and all that, but it was genuinely like I liked it so far. I thought it was pretty fun. The moment they got to Gateway Galaxy and then they tease the whole like Peach seeing like a flashback of like Rosa and shit, that was like the moment I saw it, I was just like, knew it, called it. This is when we get to two of the biggest problems with the characters, and one of my big problems with the movie. I have already said it, I don't like movie Peach. Now I certainly don't.
No, why is that? Let's get
This-
into that.
Killed it for me, because in the scene, Peach is like snooping around, like fucking squatting or whatever the hell, and is looking through the books in the library and saw one, which was the story that was on the beginning of the movie that Rosa was about to read, and it was, you know, Peach's backstory. That her and Rosa were sisters and could create magic together and were created by Stardust and all that, but had to be separated because people were trying to find her. The power, I say there because like who? And also, Rosa, couldn't you just fucking visit her?
Oh, yeah,
And it
you have a
gets
good point.
even and it gets so much stupider because one of my big issues with this movie, it creates more questions than answers. You know why I talked about how does the Star Festival happen and all that? Because I thought it was about Rosa and all that. This basically confirms it, or at the very least makes an even bigger question. Because like, of course, we know as the Mario fans, Rosa's like all her backstory and all that. But here, how did Rosa become the mother of the galaxy and all that? How did she become all of this? How did Rosa like become like a queen and all that of like the cosmos, but like Peach didn't? Why?
Yeah.
Why do the Lumas like and all that? Which again, to us, we know why, but to someone like again my mom who doesn't know, she is scratching her head like what the fuck? And even then, this backstory genuinely is so much shittier than the game's backstory.
Yeah, so here's my thought process throughout this. Like, while I was watching the movie, I don't think I was thinking about it that much. I'm just like, huh, that's an interesting revelation. Because me, I was like, I always wanted some more, like, depth behind, like, Mario characters in terms of, like, their backstories and stuff. So I guess now we have a modernized sort of Peach's origin. So I guess that's neat. But it never occurred to me, like, oh shit, wait a second. But this like overwrites like Rosalina's story, doesn't it?
Exactly.
From the original.
The thing is,
Oh
the
fuck.
more you remember the original backstory, the more this new backstory falls apart even more. Because to give you a good refresher, Rosa, you know, child of like some kingdom or whatever the fuck, goes out to space to search of Luma's mother. She doesn't find the mother and decides to instead take care of the Lumas herself and be the mother that the Lumas want to have and all that.
Yeah.
It's a really sweet story and it has a lot of nice moments. It is genuinely a really touching and sweet story, and especially for a Mario game. It is really fucking good.
Yeah.
And then it's even more of like the little things like how Rosa talks about her own like mother who, you know, is deceased and all that. Like she genuinely misses her and all that, and it's so sad and all that. And when you hear more and more about it, like in the scene where she's like looking out onto like her old planet and all that, and then she recounts like the story of like what she used to do with her family before she breaks down.
Yeah.
It's genuinely like such a good
Such an
story
iconic
in the
moment.
general. It's so good, and it's like they should have just ported this like 1-to-1 over.
I think for me, it was like, I think on paper, I'm not against the idea of like Peach and Rosalina being sisters, right? And that like they're magical
to me,
space sisters and stuff.
The thing to me about it is like you could make them related, have them like make Rosa be like her mother or some shit, which like I still be confused, but sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you could make them like be distant like family members from like generations apart, maybe.
Maybe.
You could do that. Maybe like Rosalina's like brother like went off to like have kids of like his own and then had a family, and slowly we got to the current story because like reminder,
I like
Rosa is hundreds, thousands of years old.
Yeah.
If you didn't remember. Because like then it could be like, oh, Rosa's like a brother is like had a whole family and had more children and they had children, and then we got Peach, which could work. That could work. That could be a fine
Yeah.
explanation. So like, but like, no, they just shot themselves in the foot because they not only did they retcon all that, but they then made it even more confusing because why was Rosa in her position?
It's just the fact that it replaces her origins described in the game that were like superior in so much more ways.
Like, they could change this. Sure, fuck it. Go ahead, change this. At least make it good though. They failed at just making it good though, because together, when they find each other and are actually, you know, acting as sisters, they share 2 lines of dialogue.
They barely interact in the actual movie.
They go fully in with that part. They make this big giant fuck off retcon that sucks, but sure, go for it. And they don't even go fully into it. And this brings up more what I said about the Lumas in the beginning. Is like they basically took like how the Lumas could like transform into planets and such, and made it so like when the 2 sisters like touch hands together, they could do it. Which I'm only assuming that because we don't know what the Lumas are. We know here that they're fucking like, we know here that they're like, you know, fucking star children and star babies created by like stardust and all that or some shit. I don't exactly remember the full context, but essentially they are what makes planets pretty much. They create worlds and such. They create galaxies.
Yeah.
But here, no, apparently it's the sisters' love or bond or whatever the fuck, which is so lame.
Sure, man,
I
whatever.
don't like this new story.
What did you say, Miyamoto?
Again, if you wanted to make them sisters, I wouldn't like it, but sure. At least make it good. Convince me. Try to convince me, who was like against this idea. Try to make me want this idea. You didn't even do that.
Yeah.
I've ranted about Peach in the past, which I guess we talked about their backstory. I guess now's a good time to save Peach as a whole now. As I said, I don't like movie Peach.
Yeah, I'm not huge on her.
And my main reasoning for this is that her personality, and not personality, but like the way she's portrayed in this movie is so, bro, she literally cannot fucking lose. Which you could argue is like, oh, but like, it's fun seeing her, you know, actually be on the winning side or like not being kidnapped and all that, which you can do that. 3D World exists. Fucking Wonder exists. You can do all those.
I feel like
she's
you
like
have
a part
like
of the heroes.
I always wanted like a middle ground where like it still shows her like sweet princessy side, but also being like capable. I feel like you could have both, and I wish the movie did a mix of that.
And the issue that it really does is that she just can't lose. Always she has the upper hand. Even in the scene where she's like contained in the ending of the first movie, she like somehow finds a way to like go ahead and like get Mario the Power Star and all that. Cause like they make her seem so like powerful and not actually powerful, but you know, so much capable and so much stronger and all that. That like to the point where I'm supposed to believe that Peach is much more stronger than Rosa, which no, don't fucking do that. No.
She's literally called Mother of the Stars, like Garden of the Cosmos or whatever you call it.
Junior literally talks up and says that like she's one of the most powerful beings in the whole universe.
Yeah, even he says it, yeah.
And yet he was able to simply just fucking like grab her.
Yeah.
But Peach can't be grabbed so easily now. Are you telling me that? Are you literally telling me that? Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. I guess it makes it more convincing that they're related because they're both girl bosses, but I don't know.
She is just badass the whole time and is always ahead, which here's an issue. You introduce a new character who originally is the badass of all the princesses. But now you have this princess who you introduced in the previous movie who wasn't originally the badass, but you turned into one. So what do you do when you have 2 badasses? Simple. You contain one of the badasses who's the bigger, powerful one, and now you try to make it seem like the other one is more powerful. Rosa was done even more dirty in this movie than you could ever imagine.
Sidelined hard in the fucking Mario Galaxy movie.
What does she even do?
Yeah, that...
Holy fuck.
I thought people were exaggerating and joking when they said that Fox McCloud got more screen time than Rosalina. They weren't wrong. And I'm like...
I think maybe...
Wow.
It feels very much like if you look at the technicality, then like maybe they had similar screen time, but in terms of vibes and how much importance they had, no, Fox had more screen time.
Yeah, and in terms of like consistency. Was more vital.
Oh my god, we could be here for hours talking about Rosa as a whole, but we have a little bit more left of the movie.
Yeah, let's get to the final act where they're all going to the planet Bowser. And you know what? I have this in my notes.
Bowser was cool.
I think the Bowser Planet final act, I think that was my favorite part of the movie. That was just like really fun.
I can see.
All action, all like hijinks, all references. I think it's the Mario movie at its best. I think it's clear that telling a story is not this movie's strong point in the slightest. They're good at hijinks, they're good at flashy animations and set pieces, and that's pretty much all what Planet Bowser is. So it's just like all the good parts of this movie concentrated at the same time, and that's what Planet Bowser is. I think that's my favorite part. First of all, it's based on World Bowser. That's pretty cool. And
I like it. I think generally the whole thing was pretty cool. I think one of my favorite parts of the whole scene was the later scene with Peach and Mario, but also like I like when they land on there. Mario does a little not speaking hand movement, and I like how he just grabs his mustache and does shit to it.
yeah, I like that. It's a trope, but I like the trope.
It's one of my favorite things that they sometimes do with Mario's character is that they sometimes make his mustache act like a mouth. I really like when they do it, when they don't show it, and have the mustache do the talking.
I think this just gets better as it goes along. I think the bit where Mario and Peach fall into that trap, and then they're in like this Mario Maker bit.
Yes, Mario Maker.
I actually really like that. I was like on the display. It's like the level layout. I like I thought it was kind of cheesy where he said prepare to meet your maker, but you know what? It got me. I thought it was funny.
And you know what? That whole scene was genuinely really fun.
That was awesome.
I think my only real, quote-unquote issue is that when they split up, I wish it maybe cut to Luigi and Yoshi to show more what they were doing. Because they basically see the power-ups, and then they show up later. They don't get
I
any
guess
more
they're just
screen time,
preparing a
which
sneak
kinda
attack
sucks.
or whatever.
They could have maybe shown, them doing some shit, maybe showing how they got there, them kicking some of Bowser's troops, keeping them distracted. So, Mario and Peach don't get bombarded by a bunch of other minions and such. But genuinely, the Mario Maker scene, it was really fun. But also, it did remind me of one thing. It reminded me of certain two people that I know.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can tell what I'm alluding to right here.
I wonder what you're referring to. It's the fucking cat thing.
I wonder.
That next bit, Charlotte, the bridge fight scene was so fucking raw. It was just really cool. I was just really cathartic to see the Mario Brothers final boss scene, the iconic Bowser on the bridge, and you have the axe at the end. I thought that was really satisfying to see that in a cinematic form.
I like that. I think my only issue, they should have just been there for a bit longer, on that bridge.
I mean, I guess in all fairness, the original fight is 5 seconds long, but...
I know, but it's they could have dragged it out a little bit longer. It kind of feels like, oh, they're setting up for it's gonna be a big dramatic thing where Mario's they're gonna do the Eggman thing at the end of movie 3 where he's hanging off on there. Gerald just standing there about to kill him and all that.
What I think is cool is that I always I just really like how they depict the bridge falling off in the cinematic form. Where you're literally because in the game it's pretty simple. You just touch the axe and the bridge falls down. He fucking grabs the axe and swings at the chains. I thought that was raw. I thought that was really cool. And I think not only is that not only is this part a reference to the ending of Mario Brothers 1, I think as a whole the bigger final fight scene is supposed to be New Super Mario Brothers, where it's the first phase or fake out Bowser fight is just you doing the bridge fight again, but then he comes back as Dry Bowser, and now you're fighting Dry Bowser and Bowser Jr. at the same time, in New Super Mario Brothers. I thought that was really cool.
I think I do have one slight thing about Dry Bowser, which this is not anything about. It's just I don't know why, but I feel like his model looks a little off. I don't know. I feel like it might be the cheeks, maybe the eyes or some shit. I don't know. I like him being here, even if it's a little predictable, but it's I feel like there's something off with his model, but that's just me. That's just me.
I could see that, yeah.
I do like how they kind of play it up very dramatically. It's New Super Mario Bros. DS. How when you beat the boss, you're just yeah, I did. But he's oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
They kind of play it up like that. They do that again in this movie where it's oh shit, he's actually dead.
Yeah, I was shocked there was even a brief grieving scene with Bowser Jr. He actually thought he was dead. But then at least he comes back as Dry Bowser, but I thought that bit was oh shit. You can see the guilt in Mario and Peach's face. I don't know, it's a brief moment,
it's
but
Mario's just I didn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
But he didn't give me any choice.
But yeah, Mario trying to 1v2 Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
and
splits up with Peach intentionally so Peach can rekin with her sister and all that.
And I think that new form with the Wonder Bowser Jr. doesn't change his color palette where he looks like Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, how this it's a mixture of his Fury but also the Wonder.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
It was a nice little thing. It was a cool detail.
That was really cool. And it gets better when Luigi and Yoshi come in and they have their own, the drill power-up. And Cloud.
They have like their fucking aura farming in the intro.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like fight choreography is awesome. I don't know really how to like describe like choreography, but like just saying the fight scene was really cool.
You watched
Lots of
Alan
camera
Becker, you can
angles.
describe it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I think it's just, again, I feel like they took a bit more time with the bridge. That's just my personal thing. And then I feel like the fight scene would have basically been perfect, but it was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, and I thought I liked that small moment where it's like they make the Mario Odyssey dragon out of paint, but like the dragon turns against him and eats him. Dry Bowser is like he's a little horrified, so then like Mario kind of has this moment where it's like he kind of now like knows how much Bowser and Bowser Jr. mean to each other. So he's like, no. Yeah, so like he grabs the red star, which it's actually used for something good this time, and unlike the original game.
I guess that's the one thing this movie has over.
Yeah, and I think that was a nice moment where it's like even though they were literally actively trying to kill each other, Mario at the end of the day still like saves Junior.
I think that's just the thing for me is that like the only one thing which is more of a nitpick from me.
Yeah.
Well, like they show this with like the red star, but also in the fight scene itself. Why the fuck does Mario do the star move thing, like the star spin?
Oh,
when, like,
I guess what they're trying to say is like that's not just like a red star move that you can do with that.
No, he does it before. He does it before.
Oh.
Without the red star. Which, to my question, isn't that a Lumas thing?
That is
like,
true. Oh yeah, never
why?
mind. I guess that is weird.
Like you could argue, oh, it's just a regular Mario spin, like they do it early in the movie. Which, firstly, they did do it early in the movie, but it uses this distinct with like the swooshing like Mario.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the Mario World spin, not the Galaxy spin.
And like specifically plays the new Super Mario Bros. Spin. But here, you could argue the same thing. Oh, it's just that spin. It is literally the fucking sound effect that is used for that. Shut the fuck up. Which, again, as I said, that's a Lumas thing, right? You can't really do that unless you have a Luma there, which goes to show even more, they didn't want to explain how the Lumas and such worked.
Yeah,
and it
Lumas
gets
are
even
just
more
kinda here.
confusing, because, as I've said, you need a Luma for it. Mario doesn't fucking get one. He doesn't get a Luma in his hat or anything.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's confusing. It's just weird to me. Like, why? Why is there so much, like, untold shit in this movie? Communicate with us.
Things happen one after another without a chance to catch your breath.
Thank you, Miyamoto. Dude, when I heard that, it was genuinely just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But yeah, and then the Odyssey Dragon shows up, which shows to me a little bit more that like they're not willing to, you know, do the fucking Galaxy thing. Sure.
Yeah.
It gets even worse when they have fucking Gusty Garden Galaxy play in the background. It's like, are you fucking with me? You can't just do that.
Yell again, like Galaxy and Odyssey, a little confused.
Getting a little confused. Like, there's already been jokes on Twitter and such where people are just booting up Galaxy or playing it, and they're just like, so where's Fox McCloud? It's gonna be like that. So where's the big scary dragon?
Yeah.
It's just like, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I like the final act, but I think it gets wrapped up really fucking fast.
Yeah.
Because they realize they have 4 minutes of the movie left.
And then it shows Peach and Rosa, you know, using their sisterly bond and all that.
They interact.
And then
Oh
they
my
create
God.
moss. They create grass, and then Junior is like running around with Bowser on this grassy field, like, I found your pelvis and all that. Let's find your foot. Great job, Junior.
I like that. That was funny.
I like that scene. That was kind of fun. But it shows that, and it's like Peach is like, Mario, meet my sister. The only line of dialogue the two share together.
Yeah, and then before you know it, Smash cuts to, we can't wait to go back to our castle. I like that bit where, like, yeah, the castle kinda died.
It was like that, but there's a, you know, Rosa rekins with all her children. It's just like, oh, I missed you. Did you now? Did you?
If you missed me, why don't you come and get me?
I missed you, but the movie didn't.
Yeah.
I think this is the point, as I said, like, the halfway point was when I fell off, and this is the part where I'm the most salty about the movie, you could say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that also reminds me, I completely forgot about, like, while they're going through Planet Bowser plays, Center of the Universe from the original.
Yeah, it plays that, which was
I really
cool.
liked
I like
that.
that.
I was freaking out over that. That was cool.
I feel like after this, we should talk about the music as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of said all I needed to say. I just like musical Easter eggs.
I do like the music as well. Of course, there's a bunch of motifs and such I recognize. I think my only issue was really they did the thing where it's like they play a motif of a song and then it suddenly cuts to generic movie music a little too many times for me. It was something a friend noticed, like told me, and I was just like, oh, I kind of get it. But then on my second rewatch, I was like, oh yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, maybe it'll click with me on my second watch. That I think I'll eventually do.
And then it cuts, you know, Smash cuts to, you know, them there, which to me, I feel like it's a little bit weird that like of course they didn't want to fucking do the whole like center of the universe like reset thing, but wouldn't it make sense here? I feel like it would have made sense, especially because like Bowser's still dry Bowser. He's still like skeleton. So like,
Oh yeah,
what are you gonna do
that's a
about
lot of
that?
like status quo that's kind of off since the end of this movie because Bowser's bony, castle's gone, a lot of
I mean, are they
damage
gonna do
done
the
in the
next
galaxy.
movie? He's just gonna be full on like dry Bowser, which if they do, cool. But like, what? I kind of don't want him
Yeah.
to be like that. I kind of prefer normal Bowser.
They'll find a way. There'll probably be like Kamek magic or whatever that'll bring him
And they
back.
do either that or he takes like a bath or some shit in New Super Mario Bros. DS.
Oh yeah, he goes into that one cauldron that resurrects him. They probably just do that.
And then Mario World.
Yeah, I like the rebuilding scene. I think just a little pet peeve of me. I think it's just my Mario autism. They were making Super Mario Brothers jump sound effects in the Mario World art style.
Oh yeah.
That's just a nitpick. That's just something that'll always bug me, but it's really not that big of a deal.
At least we got like official Luma and Rosalina Mario World sprites, and they used the Mario Maker 2 sprite for Luigi.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's neat. And then
Yeah.
I chose at the end where the cape feather, and then the castle's built, and Mario does the thing, and he gets a kiss from Peach and all that. Which
Yay.
I'm just gonna be saying this right now. This has been a common like rumor, or like at least a thing that's been suspecting around with this movie, is that this movie was originally a Mario World movie that was then turned into a Galaxy movie.
Yeah, I
Which to
believe
me,
that.
this just confirmed it. This was basically confirmed it.
Yeah, because like
Which
that was
was
supposed
just,
to
like-
be a wrap up Mario and Peach's romance that they hardly had apart from like 2 scenes.
Yeah, and then Mario does the wahoo, he flies off with the cape feather, and boom, credits roll. Holy fuck, I had a straight face for the entirety of the ending movie.
You're like that one fucking Homelander gif in the theater.
Exactly. I was just that. That was me for the entirety of the second half of the movie. I was not fucking with the second half. As you can clearly tell
Yeah,
by my
I think
thoughts.
for me it was oddly like the inverse where it's like I was enjoying like the beginning bit of them doing like their everyday life stuff, like helping out the Mushroom Kingdom and stuff. I think it's the middle that was just kind of like where like it kept flip-flopping between like the underground gambling place and the Honey Hive stuff. That was like, it's alright. I think it's the part at the end that had me more hooked just because like how much action there was in Planet Bowser.
It's like, I did like the action, but it's just like, in general, fuck, man. Dude, just a little bit more. The post-credit scene.
I did see the late one, and I'm like, okay, cool, Daisy's here, but now we have a problem. We have like 3 badass princesses now, so it's
Three
like, how
of
are
the
we gonna make
same
them?
character.
How are we gonna make them distinct from Peach and Rosalina?
And you want to know what's even worse? With how they did Rosa and Peach, they're gonna make them triplets. I'm just gonna call it now. They're gonna make them triplets. I bet all my fucking money.
All the
they're
girls are
making
just
them
related
triplets.
to each other.
They all are. I'm gonna bet that right fucking here. They are. They
Yeah.
are. But yeah, that was the movie. I really do not have high hopes for these future movies, because
Me
like
neither.
they fumbled the bag so hard, and to me they basically robbed what could have been a really good fucking movie and a really good
Yeah.
adaptation. Because like you could argue on one hand like, oh, it's Mario, it doesn't need stories and all that shit. I agree with the first one, because the first movie's like whole thing was, it wasn't really that. Like, the main point was just, it's a Mario movie, it's fun, it has all the references and such. It was more so trying to be a fun little thing. But the issue is when it comes to Mario Galaxy specifically, because it actually gives a fuck.
Galaxy is based off the Mario game with so much more thematic potential. I think it's all the more disappointing that they fumbled this one as compared to the last one, which is just like adapting Super Mario Brothers.
This one, the first one was specifically, the more fun, dumb stuff, but this one, yeah, god damn it.
Alright.
Yeah. But in terms of closing thoughts, as I've clearly said, I did like some parts, but overall, I didn't enjoy this movie. This was a letdown.
I see. Well, out of 5 stars?
I don't know about stars, let me just give 1.5. But in terms of a score with like from 1 to 10, a 3.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Like, I predicted this from the start. We'd have the same gripes, same, like, analysis, just different conclusions. But I think as far as what I have to say, and we'll wrap this up, it fails as an adaptation of Super Mario Galaxy, or even just being a good movie. But I think it succeeds as a fun tribute to the Mario franchise, and there's a lot here for fans of Mario and Nintendo to enjoy. I think it's clear that their goal here was similar to the first one, which is just to make a fun fan service film. And, that's not to exempt this movie from criticism, obviously. I'm not pulling it's for the fans fans or Mario doesn't need a story bullshit. I
Fuck
think
that,
it's
honestly.
I think it's totally fair for people to want them to take advantage of this medium and flesh out a story more than the Mario games have.
Hi, that's me. I was hoping for an actual fucking movie.
Especially when it's based on the game that had a clear passion to tell a story through both atmosphere and cinematics. So yeah, I agree that they could have taken this movie in a more nuanced direction than simply being a big space adventure. I could really feel the love for the franchise in this movie, and I think that's what made me depart from all the dooming I felt before watching. So basically, it's me being a big Mario fan that made me see all the missed potential and inconsistencies, yet also made this an overall enjoyable and exciting watch. At least the final act. I thought the beginning and middle were a bit all over the place. So yeah, I think whether or not someone will like this movie is hard to say when the fun value clashes with the poor writing and direction. And it's completely understandable why this movie is so polarizing, and the critics are not at fault for wanting something more than just fun. I know I did. It really depends on what you want most from it. If you're looking for a fun Mario movie, you will like the Super Mario Galaxy movie. But if you're looking for an actually great and well-composed Mario movie, I don't think you will like this. And for me, who wanted both just as much, I'm stuck in the middle here. But since I feel that the fun value slightly edges out, I'm gonna give it the most generous 6 out of 10 I will ever give. So yeah, while it could have been something so much better, I enjoyed it in spite of that.
I know what I'm gonna be putting on the divorce papers now, that's for sure.
A divorce selfie.
Yeah. Divorce selfie, Mario Galaxy movie caused my marriage to break.
Bowser is coming.
Now who's gonna fuck me?